Terrance Afer-Anderson, and this is BioRhythms. You know, it's been said that music is a universal language. Therefore, it has a bunch of different languages that people can connect to. Back in the 70s, I was introduced to a folk guitarist by the name of Richie Havens. And that was a bit of a pariah, a black man playing folk music. Well, there is a great black folk guitarist amongst us, and he's in our studio today. His name is Mr. Lawrence Lambert.
Thank you. I'm very complimented.
Well, you compliment us by being here. So let's have you stop for a second here and just talk a little bit about you. I had another guest on the show recently who came from an agricultural background. And the same was for you, isn't it?
Yes, I was raised on a farm in Pungo, Virginia.
Far Virginia Beach. That was a ways out.
Yeah, that was a ways out back then in those days.
Okay. And were there things in your environment that influenced you? I want to talk about naturally first, because I know that there was music in your house.
Yeah, music was a big thing. But, you know, on a farm, we didn't have all of the stuff that kids have today.
Right.
So we had to stay busy. So we all took piano lessons. And we would go and take turns playing the piano and singing, and you know, Michael Jackson was the thing back then, and
right.
So we would always try to do those songs and just have a good time.
So how did you find yourself? What led you to the guitar?
You know, I had a chance to open for this guy named Kevmo, and he is just an incredible performer and guitar player. And I would sit backstage, and he would do this song called City Boy.
Okay.
And I would be so moved. And I said, I just want to be able to do that, just a little of that, to be able to play the guitar and sing and touch people in an emotional way.
Now, you say you opened for him.
Yes.
We were playing a different...
Yeah, I was in a group where I just sang. I was a singer.
Oh, okay.
And everybody else played guitars and everything. And I just, you know, did the tambourine or whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. But I watched him do that, and I thought, that's magical. I just want to be able to do that.
Was that one of those singular moments where you realized something? I mean, did it strike something in you so profound that you realized that that's who you were?
Absolutely, absolutely. Music was always there, but I never thought that I could kind of put it all together. The voice and the singing and the music and the emotion, you know, because that's what it's really all about, for people to be able to connect with that song.
Right.
That's like my mission with music, is to touch people emotionally. And I picked folk music because it's the protest music. It's the music that says things aren't right, we want the world to be a better place, and I think we really need that message today.
Particularly today.
Today.
Well, let's go back a little bit and talk more about your childhood. Was you say your mom and your father had you guys playing piano lessons?
Yes.
Was there music in the house before you?
Yeah, I mean, music was just the thing that you did on
the farm.
Yeah, on the farm.
Okay.
Once you couldn't work outside anymore, we would come inside and we would just, you know, play music or whatever we could do to make noise.
So were everyone in your family musicians?
Yeah, I have a twin brother.
Right.
And I have an older brother and sister that are twins. So we had two sets of twins.
Wow.
So, you know, when you have a buddy in tow with you at all times, there's nothing to do but get in trouble.
And you all played music?
And we all played music.
Okay.
My twin brother is a great piano player.
Right.
My older brother plays a beautiful piano, and my sister's a trombone, French horn player. And so she was a music major. She was the only music major in the family.
She was the only music major, but and you were doing guitar profession.
Yes.
Does she still playing music now? Or?
She does, but I have to twist her arm a little bit.
Okay, you know, I have to tell you, the French horn is such an incredible, beautiful instrument.
Yeah,
it really, truly is. But the guitar, I mean, that is an instrument where you can play. It's almost like a single instrument that's like a symphony.
Yeah.
You know, because there's so many notes that combine together when you're playing chords, which is something that terrified me.
Okay.
But when you play a chord, that's like, you know, it's like a symphony.
Yeah. And I like it because of the vibration. You feel it in your chest, you know?
With the acoustic.
Yeah, with the acoustic guitar, as opposed to those little electric guitars. So you feel the sound. And that's
I can imagine that's very important, because when I was a kid, there was this guy that was deaf.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but when he would feel sound, he would come completely alive. So I can fully appreciate what you're saying.
Yes.
All right, so were both of your parents playing music?
My dad was the farmer guy. He also
Okay.
worked for the postal system security. And he wasn't really into the music
Okay,
thing,
all right.
you know, so, but he would come in and listen to us. I remember the first time my father actually came to one of my shows was a rare thing.
Right.
Because he was like, you know, you need to go to school, you need to do education
Right.
was the priority.
Right.
But he came to my show and he said, I understood every word you said.
That's folk music.
That's my dad.
Yeah,
He just
yeah.
said, I went to the show and I listened to everything that you said, and I just think it's fantastic.
It is indeed. I mean,
it's
you're a
fun.
great musician.
I do okay. I just love it.
We're going to take a break in just a second, but I'm going to tease you a little bit because I asked you this question once before. If you were a single note of music, what would that note be and why?
It would be Nina Simone, Feeling Good.
Okay.
And I picked that song because that was the song that came out of the change where all of a sudden black people were having rights.
Right.
And to me, it just symbolizes, you know, everything, you know, is getting better.
Yeah, Nina Simone.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that piece?
Birds flying
My
high,
skin is...
you know how I feel.
Man. Yeah, we're going to have you perform in the second segment.
Oh, okay.
We're going to have you do a complete piece of music. And I'm going to ask you that question again because I want you to identify a single note of music that defines Lawrence Lambert.
Okay.
Not so much a song, but a single note of music.
Okay.
You know, and for those people that don't know music out there, you can say anything. It's all right.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
All right. We're going to take a break, and when we come back again, we're going to have you play another piece for us. All right,
Okay.
an entire piece.
Oh, okay.
Please stick around. We'll be back in just a moment, and you're going to be introduced to Mr. Lawrence Lambert playing an entire song, a great piece of music. Stay tuned. Welcome back to BioRhythms, and now we have a real treat for you. Mr. Lawrence Lambert is going to play an original composition. What is it called? Before you play, what is it called? And what is
This
the
song
story?
is called Form the Line.
Okay.
And it's, of course, a protest song. It's
Right.
about people coming together and saying, we're not going beyond this point.
What
We're
kind of
gonna-
line? It's like just a protest line.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's time to come together. It's time to form the line. It's up to you and me now. We're running out of time. You can sing with me. I don't think we'll ever know what's going in the ground. Many lives will be lost before we make a sound. We've got to come together. Together we are strong, oh yes, and say no, say no, say no, say no, and form the line. We can't waste another moment. We gotta make this right. We must work together to push it in the light. We've got to come together. Together we are strong, oh yes, and say no, say no, say no to hate. Say no and form the line. We can make a difference if we try. We can heal the world, it's do or die. We've got to come together. Together we are strong, oh yes, and say no to war, say no to hate, say yes to love, That's what we're fighting for. Say no, say no, say yes to love. Say yes to love and form the line.
Fantastic, man.
Nice.
Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So, listen, folk music is, I mean, it's just so, it has so much potential as an educational tool, you know?
Yeah.
And folk people, they're legends that are endured. I mean, people like, I mentioned Richie Havens earlier, and Pete Seeger, you know, and Tracy Chapman.
Tracy Chapman.
What is it that inspires you? I want to get to that second, and I'm leading up to that question again about that note.
Yeah.
But what is it that you observe in life that inspires you? I mean, there's a bunch of different things, of course, but what kind of feeling do you have when you say, okay, I have to put this to music?
Well, you know, the thing that really motivates me sometimes are the sad things that happen to people. Like this change in the atmosphere where people are able to say how much they hate.
Right.
And I just really want us to, as a nation, to kind of come together and say it really is about love. And that's our guiding principle. And that's the stuff that motivates me. Because words are so important. I learned that from Dr. Maya Angelou about the importance of words. And I hear a lot of the music that kids are singing, and I think the messages are all wrong. And so I want to write the kind of things that say, you know, it's about love. It's about coming together as a people. And I'm inspired by Dr. Issei Barnwell from Sweet Honey in the Rock.
I was going to mention Sweet Honey in the Rock.
She is like one of my mentors. And she does community sings where she gets everybody to sing about something together. And she talks about the power when voices come together and sing the same thing. So you can see my music is very simple. I'm no Patti LaBelle. I know that. I'd like to be, but
you might define it as simple, but you have a great voice and you're a great instrumentalist. But the message is where the power is.
I think
it's
so.
Profound, you know, and that must be very empowering for you.
Yeah, and my mother and dad, they used to take us to New York as kids so we could see all the shows, and so music was just something that we did. And you wouldn't think that would happen on a farm, but my mother wanted to be an opera singer.
Yeah, I remember you were telling me that.
Yeah, she wanted to be an opera singer, and then she met my dad, and 2 sets of twins later, she had to strike that one off the list.
So tell me, again, this is a challenging thing. If there were a single note of music, and you don't even necessarily have to say what the note is, but what single word would describe you and your music?
A single word?
That whole experience.
Oh, that's hard. I would say Sean Colvin, Steady. Steady.
Steady.
Yeah. She has a song where she talks about steady on, picking a direction and just going there, steady, moving in that direction.
And what kind of challenges have you had as an African American folk guitarist, continuing on that journey, being steady, when there are so many folks, African American, your brothers and sisters, that don't necessarily, appreciate your genre of music? Yeah,
well, I mean, that's never stopped me.
Okay.
Because I believe if you go back far enough, the guitar players, they were me.
Right.
If you go back, Muddy Waters and all of those guys,
that
were out doing the music, they looked just like me.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, people, I was doing this show at and they said, he does funk music. And I said, I was yelling, folk music. And they were like, folk music? What in the world is
a black man doing
folk? How impossible is that? And I'm like, where do you think it came from?
Yeah, right. Yeah, how about it?
Where do you think all of this came from? It came from
music that told the lyrics, especially that told stories. And you talk about you're motivated by things that you see that are sad because you want to help people make that transition. By telling their story and feeling happy about it.
Yeah.
The guitar is such an incredible instrument. What have you found most challenging about playing the guitar?
Well, I guess the most challenging thing about playing the guitar is that, there's so much that you can do with this instrument. And I know that I started late.
Okay.
I wish I had started when I was 3, you know, but I started as a guy singing and watching Keb Mo.
Okay.
And so I just wish I could do it all day. Just play and catch up, make for all those years that I missed.
So it's
And you play well too. Of course, you're not going to share that. Should I hand you the
no, I
guitar?
am not going to do that on TV. So it sounds like it's very much a spiritually fulfilling experience.
Yeah, I think so.
It helps you connect to who you are.
Mm-hmm. And it's very simple. It's not super complex. If you think you can't play the guitar, that it's too late, it's not true. It's nothing more wonderful than having a whole bunch of people all playing the guitar and learning from each other, learning chords and learning styles, and because originally that's what people used to do. They would sit out on the porch,
Right.
and they would pull out these instruments and they would play. And every now and then you'll see a family that has kept that alive.
Right.
And grandma playing the violin, and then she'll pass the violin to the baby, and the baby's, it's just, the music is just there.
Well, speaking of the music, we're going to take another break now.
Okay.
And when we come back, I want to have you play another song for
You got
us,
it.
okay? And we're going to talk about your CD.
Oh, okay, thanks.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, no problem.
Please stick around. We'll be right back with another song from Lawrence Lambert.
Do you have time? Come on and sit down. This won't take long, my friend. We can work it out. I won't scream or shout. 5 doors down, I live. We live together in this same small town. 5 doors down, I live. The walls between us just won't come down. 5 doors down. We see each other every day. You ignore me, won't look my way. Disregard it for the color of my skin. Just raise a hand, I could be your friend. 5 doors down, I live. We live together in this same small town. 5 doors down, I live. The walls between us just won't come down. 5 doors down. Check this out. It's a different time now. We can cross those color lines. Our kids ride that same school bus. This thing between us is just a matter of trust. 5 doors down, I live. We live together in this same small town. 5 doors down, I live. The walls between us just won't come down. 5 doors down.
Man. Yeah, that's a blessing. Obviously, that was called 5 Doors Down.
5 doors down, you can't miss it. On a strum stick.
I was going to ask you, man, you're playing a stick.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's a strum stick.
Now, that kind of guitar I can handle. Man, that's incredible. I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, I was writing music for kids, and I thought this was more approachable.
What, you know the history behind that instrument?
It's Appalachian in terms of its ancestry, and it belonged to a friend, and she had it in her closet, and she closed her closet door, and I heard this, and I thought, what in the world is that? And she said, oh, it's an instrument, would you like it? And so she gave it to me.
Oh,
and I
my
said, well,
goodness.
I got to honor it with a song.
Right, right, right.
So I wrote the song about my neighbors that hated me.
You know, we talk about people coming from austere circumstances to create beauty. You know, it's not at all surprising that the folks in Appalachia would come up with an instrument like that, you
Yeah.
know. So that was called Five Doors Down. That leads me to ask you about your group. You're called Little Doors?
Little Doors, yes.
Yeah.
I'm in a vocal jazz trio with
Okay.
a Larry Burwald and a Dave Hofstadler, and they're like jazz guys. And I am the singer, you know. So it has been a thrill doing songs that I wasn't aware of growing up. And it gives me another opportunity to learn another type of music. So
Oh, I'm going to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. I don't know why I didn't mention that to you before. Hofstadler's a bass player, right?
yes, he's the bass player.
Do you know the very first play I ever produced in town, David Hofstadler, played bass for my play for the Love of Jazz.
Isn't that something? Oh,
Yeah,
that's a small world.
It
yeah.
was Pat Curtis arranged composed the music, and we played at the Christ Museum.
Oh my
David
gosh.
Hofstadler.
So
Yeah.
you're a band member.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. So Little Doors, and you guys, you play around town.
We're playing around town. We just did a show that sold out at Big Pink Music
And I'm
over
so
in
sorry I
Phoebus.
missed that, right.
Oh, it was so nice, and I got a chance to do songs that you know, bring you back.
Right, right.
My Funny Valentine.
My Funny Valentine.
There you go.
Okay.
All of that stuff, and so Satin Doll,
And it was a Valentine's Day thing.
and it was a
wasn't
Valentine's theme. The whole message was love.
Okay, now I want you to tell us about your CD, appropriately named Soul Folk.
That's it.
Where can people get Soul Folk?
You know, you can get it at my website, which is lawrencelambert.com.
Okay, we're going to super that up on the
Yeah,
screen.
and also CD Baby, so it's out there. And I really want people to check it out because it's all about healing. Every song is designed to kind of heal. So from a broken heart, from the loss of a parent, from the loss of someone you love, or just it's just designed to heal.
And healing is very important to you as a
Absolutely.
musician, as an artist.
And as a farmer, as a gardener, you tend
Oh, I
the
bet.
soil.
Yeah, and you're still doing a little bit of
I
that.
do. I have lemon trees in Norfolk, Virginia.
Really?
Oh yeah, outside in the yard.
Really?
They're 15 feet. They're tall trees, and I talked to the people, and they're like, "You can't have lemon trees here," and I said, "What a blessing," because I do. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it is
That
indeed.
I have lemon trees. I
Yeah.
think somebody's looking out for me. I'm just saying.
Well, I wonder who that might be. You know, and that's
You
a
are,
blessing.
so thank you.
Yeah, you'll thank you for joining us
Yeah.
for this edition of BioRhythms. I'd like to close with your playing a piece, and if you could just set it up for us. And
Okay,
while you
I'm going
play-
to play this song, which is about always being there.
Okay, you want me to hold the
Oh,
stick?
that's perfect. And this song is about always being there for people.
And as you're playing, I'm going to close, and then we're just going to let you take us out, okay?
Okay.
And again, the album is called Soul Folk, available at CD Baby, and also available at
LawrenceLambert.com.
We want to thank you for joining us for this particular edition of BioRhythms. It's a great pleasure to introduce you to Mr. Lawrence Lambert, and an African-American man playing folk guitar. Beautiful.
I walk down the street alone. Who cares where I'm from? When I saw you there, and I don't know where, but I know deep in my heart, yes, I'll be there. Yes, I'll be there. If you need me, yes, I'll be there. Oh, just look for me, yes, I'll be there. If you ever need me around, yes, I'll be there. When the morning comes, yes, I'll be there. I'm the only one, yes, I'll be there. Again and again and again, again and again and again, again and again. I'll be there, man.
Beautiful. Fantastic. Thank you, brother. Thank you
Thank
so
you very
very
much.
much. Thank you.
Look
Yeah,
for-
that's going to